Southern New Hampshire University MBA-515, Business Environment, Innovations, and Entrepreneurship, Entrepreneurial and Intrapreneurial Opportunities in Contract Manufacturing as it relates to Westbell Electronics. Entrepreneurial Opportunities. The entrepreneurial opportunities outside the confines of Westbell include researching new technological automation, supporting the added population, acting on changes to government policy changes, and keeping an eye on debt as interest rates increase. Westbell cannot control the advances in technology that other companies are inventing and innovating, so they need to continuously research the new equipment and computer systems that will help them compete in contract manufacturing. Schleniger and Comax are both companies that innovate and manufacture wire processing machines that Westbell has purchased in the past. Those are two great companies to follow as they innovate new equipment and could change the industry at any given time. Even if Westbell was up to date with the latest technology and equipment, tomorrow was a new day that could change everything. There are many opportunities for intrapreneurship at Westbell because it's a smaller company with only 30 employees. Quote, given the implicit choice between intrapreneurship and entrepreneurship, there are several ways that an organizational size and age can structure these alternative career opportunities. There is compelling evidence suggesting that many firms grow and mature. They expose their workers to increasingly attractive and feasible opportunities for new venture formation inside an organization. End quote, Kakpreksik, 2012. The definition of intrapreneur is a noun, a person within a corporation who is given the freedom and resources to initiate projects, business ventures, etc. The population is growing exponentially, which means housing needs to grow relatively in order for everyone to have a place to live. Whether it's residential homes, multi-units, apartment buildings, or oceanfront penthouses, copper wire is necessary to provide electricity throughout. Supply and demand play a large part in the current price of copper, which travels throughout the manufacturing processes and distribution chains quickly. Understanding, watching, and reacting to the current price of copper and the supply and demand factors will help Westbell determine when to purchase, grow, and possibly scrap inventory. Perhaps when prices and demand are low, along with interest rates, Westbell could use a line of credit to purchase some copper wire in bulk in anticipation for demand increases later. Also, it's important for Westbell to understand that when the increased population increases demand, it may not relate to their marketing efforts, so it's important to understand the difference. The government writes new policies each year that relate to the health of the environment and people, which can also affect the copper wire industry. For example, RoHS and REACH are both standards that stop hazardous metals from being used, such as lead and metals from unapproved foreign countries. Those policies were implemented years ago, so most of Westbell's customers require at the minimum a RoHS and REACH approved tag, and sometimes a certificate from the manufacturer. During the transition of these policies, current inventory can be wasted if it doesn't have the approvals in which the customer requires. Between the years of 2008 and 2012, copper as a commodity spiked from about $2 per pound to almost $5 per pound and disrupted the industry because prices were changing on a daily basis. By the time copper got close to $5 per pound, aluminum products began taking place of copper as a cheaper and lighter alternative. Once copper became popular, it lowered the demand of copper wire, while the industry demand was lowering as well, which together brought the price back down to $2 per pound. Supply and demand affects interest rates, stock prices, housing, products, and commodities, so it's important for Westbell to consider when purchasing and pricing products. For example, the price of copper increases, big distributors begin to lower their cost of inventory that becomes more attractive than buying direct from the manufacturer, so Westbell can buy from distribution at lower prices often when copper is high compared to the price of the manufacturer. Taking advantage of these opportunities can increase margins for certain products. Copper wire provides most of the electricity in the world, but it can get annoying to have wires all over the place, So there's a trend of trying to hide the wires and create wireless technology such as Wi-Fi for phones and internet. Typically there are wires behind the scenes when a device is called wireless, so it wouldn't put Westbell out of business. For instance, solar panels are becoming very popular and replacing home furnaces, but the addition of copper wire and cables to install solar panels was added to the copper wire market. Westbell needs to notice when these things happen and new products become knowledgeable in the new industry. Customers like to discuss products with people that can quickly answer difficult questions, and it takes time to develop trust. So, it is an important part of growth over the next 10 years for Westbell to be educated on solar panel cabling to be able to educate their customers before they purchase. Impact on opportunities. These trends will impact the development of Westbell's entrepreneurial and intrapreneurial opportunities because, for instance, government policies related to environmental resources could impact the products that they have purchased for many years. Future interest rates could impact the investment dollars spent on new technology, automation, and a second location. The price of copper could impact inventory levels, and a desire for a wireless world would impact the products that they offer. As these trends affect the opportunities for Westbell, Westbell needs to adapt in order to stay competitive. The world is trending toward preserving our environmental resources, so when environmental friendly products come onto the market, it would be wise for Westbell to use them. They should also market to the public that they have gone green with the trends of the customers, and they will appreciate it. Alpha Wire has created Alpha Eco Wire as a Going Green initiative, so it's important that Westbell offers this product to their customers. Competitors of Alpha will soon have similar products, and distributors will need to stock those products as well. EcoWire and other environmentally friendly products can replace the standard copper wire products that we know today. That means Westbell, whether they choose to or not, may have to get rid of old products in order to stock new products that customers demand. Westbell has been thinking about investing in a second location on the West Coast to minimize transit times to customers and to increase the size of their facility, both of which are weaknesses in their SWOT analysis. Quote, "Whether or not you're passionate about your business, it's important to be realistic about the changes and chances of a second store actually succeeding. The way to discover whether or not your business will prosper is to observe the market, research your competitors, and analyze the mood." End quote, Smith, 2011. Interest rates below 3% only have one way of moving, and that will affect the bottom line for Westbell, which is up. A sizable investment in a second location should be considered with a higher interest rate in mind. Carrying cheap debt is wonderful, but it needs to be paid off, and it's not affordable at double the cost, 6%. It's only a matter of time before interest rates go back up in the future and cause panic. So if they skyrocket during that time of panic in the world, Westbell will be prepared. It would be better to enter this investment with a sizable amount of cash and plan to pay off the debt, rather than taking on a large amount of cheap debt only to see the cost go up in the future and not be prepared. The interest rates will also affect the other assets that Westbell carries with debt, such as technology and automation. The price of copper is starting to swing upward again at the end of 2016, which can quickly lower inventory levels for distribution. Inventory will become more expensive and selling will be more competitive. Depending on whether distributors buy inventory, the cost levels of the same products will be quite different, causing confusion for end users. Distributors will often buy from competitors because their resale price is cheaper than the current manufacturer price. As the copper price fluctuates, Westbell will have to adapt to the trend in order to stay competitive in the industry. Impact on assessment. These trends could affect the sustainability of Westbell in either direction depending on how they react to each trend. A level mixture of each opportunity will allow them to sustain their customers and gain new customers, but a slight turn in the wrong direction could hurt them severely. If Westbell chooses to sell the same products that they have for years instead of adapting to the new environmentally friendly products, they could lose a share of the market. If Westbell chooses to take on a large amount of cheap debt in order to invest in new ideas, they could lose another share of the market due to additional expensive debt with high interest rates. If Westbell doesn't change their buying patterns as the price of copper increases and decreases, they could hurt their cash flow and easily decrease profit margins. Add all of these factors together and one can see that business A could go bankrupt while business B could prosper by adapting to new trends. If Westbell wants to sustain a competitive advantage in the industry, they need to adapt in the right ways through careful research and assessment. Westbell has proven that they can adapt and sustain in the past through investment in new technology and automation. They built a strong website in 2015 and continue to grow it throughout the years. They created a new website in 2016 that not only sold products but also sold services to prepare wire and cable before shipping it, because numerous websites started to look and act the same in the distribution market. Westbell has the first website in the industry to sell services to wire and cable. They also bought new equipment and updated their ERP database system, which provides faster speeds and better quality. The past actions represent the future actions, which leads me to believe that Westbell will continue to invest profits into assets that will sustain and improve their competitive advantage within the industry.